out, so you know what that means. Okay, let's make sure we're all in the frame. All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. That's the true name of the Heavenly Father. In the beginning of the Bible, you see the tetragrammaton, YHWH, which stands for Yahweh, not Yahweh, or not Yahuwah, but Yahweh. All right, in the name of Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus and Christ, who Hebrew Israelites are ignorantly, sold outly teaching that the name doesn't matter, but the name does matter. All right, because prophecy is being fulfilled by the mere fact that we're calling on that name. And we'd also like to give double honors to our elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do rule well. And we'd also like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's predestinated elect. Okay, unlike Christianity, this is not come as you are, because you could come as you are, but you're gonna have to change who you are to be a new man, all right, or a new woman, okay? And if you didn't know, we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those scattered abroad according to the diaspora. Hence why we came over here on slave ships. But as prophecy says, we're gonna leave in spaceships, okay? So we're coming out to the highways and hedges as we were commanded to, and ultimately inspired through the Spirit, which is the Holy Spirit given unto us to have this understanding, this knowledge, which has now allowed us to stand upon our feet in front of our enemies, in front of the heathen, in front of two-thirds, in front of lies, in front of deception, in the Spirit to say no more, all right? Because the Lord said that his mouth would consume him. And that's what's taking place right here in the good old streets of US of A. Under Satan's authority, lies are being broken down. Like it says, strongholds are being broken down. So let's start off with 1 John, okay? Not Little John, but 1 John.
This is 1 John 2 and 18. Little children.
Start up, please.
I'll start at
14.
15.
Yeah, let's get all the meat off the bone. A famine of the word is coming.
Right.
Okay, as you watch social media, as you watch the news, which is now owned by 6 corporations, you have no idea what reality is. You got artificial idumia, you got TikTok, you got all these outlets with vain jangling. This is where the truth is at, because we could get Proverbs 8 and 1, 2, Kratazaba, where that's where it says wisdom would be at. You got it, brother.
1 John 2 and 14. I have written unto you, fathers, because ye have known him that is from the beginning. I have written unto you, young men.
This whole thing is about the beginning.
Yep.
This whole thing is about going back to the ancient way. We're in a so-called future, and look at it, humans. Look at your future. Look at your world. Look what it's become. It's a cesspool.
Yep.
Everything is excess, over-sexualized, overstimulated, overeating, overweight, overly wicked. Keep going.
It reads, I have written unto you, young men.
And that's why we're in the days of Noah. In the days of Noah, Yahweh took out the population of people and only allowed 8 souls to be upon the ark. And really it started with Noah and his 3 sons, you know?
Yep.
And then their wives got on so that they could reproduce you people, including us.
Yep.
That's why it says a small remnant. Now that's not the breakdown, but that was a small remnant, but the small remnant now for Israel is the elect.
Right.
So the elect Israelite man is one of the most important creatures on earth, in so much that the destruction would have already taken place if it wasn't for the Israelite man being of the elect.
Yep.
Because the Israelite man's important. The father's important.
Right.
The father is the most important one. You got women talking about, could you imagine if there was a world without men? There would be no world.
Right.
Y'all are daughters. We got male and female floating around in our scrotum right now.
Yep.
We're fathers to creation. We create.
And it reads, ye are strong, and the word of the Most High abideth in you, and ye have overcome the wicked one.
So we've been given a treasure in this earthly vessel, because what man sees they like to equate you to their out of shape dirtbag body. So they know in their spirit they ain't shit. So now they're gonna look at you in that same manner. But we're more than just a body. See, you're just a body. We're a spirit trapped in this heathen body. Remember, he said, I'm trapped in here. You know?
Yep.
We're trapped in this body right now. We're waiting to be freed. All right, right now, we die like you, but that's not gonna be the end all be all for us.
Right. Verse 15, love not the world.
Wait a minute, but it says, for God so loved the world, but then it says, love not the world.
Right.
So does that mean there's a different aspect when it comes to the understanding of world?
Yep.
Okay, because a lion may be king of the jungle, but he's not the king of the under the sea world.
Right.
It's called Sea World.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it reads, neither the things that are in the world, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Yeah, ultimately being worldly, ultimately following a multitude to do evil, ultimately bowing down to this image, to this beast, okay, to wickedness. See? That's why they give you all these movies with Hollyweird, then they tell grown-ass men to bow to this little woman. That's an act of servitude.
Yeah.
No, we bow to Yahweh Shemel Shai, okay? That's why I tell women, you're not my God.
Right.
Why ain't you text me? Is that a commandment?
Right.
Is that yo, brothers, get your nuts back.
Yeah, man.
Okay? This is a man's world. Man created earth. You're on man's earth. I don't know who the hell you've been talking to.
Right.
Who the hell named earth earth?
Right.
Who named earth earth, man? I believe it's a Greek word, actually. And civilization didn't start with the Greeks, and the Greeks weren't even civilized. And the Edomites that called themselves Greeks took that from the Japhetic people, just like the Romans, Roman and Romulus. That's where the whole term Rome comes from. You idiots.
Verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
Yeah, it's just that. It's lust. Okay? It's, you know what I was thinking about? You brothers ever go on like Instagram and before you watch like something like a car accident, it'll be like sensitive content.
Yeah.
Do you agree to proceed?
Yeah.
Immediately the first thing I said a nigga with a man bun. I said, why don't they have that disclaimer every time there's a half-naked woman on there?
Exactly.
All these women that are half-naked online, there should be an agreement to you clicking on it.
Yes.
But me seeing judgment, I have to agree to that sensitive content. And you know what it hit me? What does Sirach 32 and 22 said? There's a spell. You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to stop you from being a warrior.
Yep.
What does Sirach 36 and 22 say?
36. Sirach 36 and 22. It says, the beauty of a woman.
The beauty of a woman.
Cherisheth the countenance. And a man loveth nothing better.
But what if a man is what is it? Surely oppression makes a wise man mad.
Yeah.
So here it is. You got a wise man that's mad. So what do you do to get him unmad? Throw ass and titties constantly at him.
Right.
As soon as you throw ass and titties at him, he kind of calms down.
Yeah.
Like remember the B word? She grabbed Hulk and started rubbing his chin hair.
Yeah.
Then the nigga said, okay.
He devolved.
He devolved. This big testosterone vessel is now, because some titties was in front of him. Okay. Nah, that's why he keeps throwing it at you, brothers. Mm-hmm. Why do you think he keeps throwing these weak-ass women with all these tight-ass clothes? Put your ass away. But they're doing that because they want to, no, calm down, soldier. Yep. We're spiritual men. We're spiritual soldiers. But there's something to them always showing ass, titties, and half-naked women.
Yeah.
Don't give in to that, man.
That's a war tactic, too.
Yeah, and then they know it, too. And it's true. You are asking for it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
This is the biggest hypocritical continent that I've ever been on.
Straight up. And it reads,
The H in hypocrisy stands for heathen and human. Read that one more time.
Yes.
Please. You were about to say something?
No, I was going to say, that's why, like a female, she can easily infiltrate.
Yeah, that's why the bitch little blonde walking.
Yeah.
Like, we're not throwing out harmonic, like things, we say things, it just happens to apply to you.
Yeah.
We're not literally looking at you. Look.
Right.
We not, you're not out here.
That's how spirit works. It gives examples.
It gives examples. What you think? You saw her? Look, yeah, that's me. That's how they are. But see, we're calling it out. We're calling out the reality that you humans act like it doesn't exist. That's what wickedness. That's the example of wickedness. Wickedness doesn't want to say that yes, I do that to babies.
Right.
It wants to act like they're not doing that. That's evil to me.
It is evil.
Haman will literally plot to murder you and then still sit at dinner with you.
Yeah.
That's why Esther had to call him out.
Yeah, bro.
And Esther was sent by Mordecai. Leave it to Esau, he'll say this woman, she just rose up on her own accord. No.
No, hell no.
Her uncle Mordecai was the mastermind behind that.
Yep. That's right.
And it was a Persian empire.
Yep.
Which also that was fulfilling a prophecy too. Because we needed our temple to be rebuilt to fulfill prophecy, to later have that temple be destroyed because of prophecy.
Right. That's right. Back in Sirach 36 and
my bad, brother. Because the Lord took his spirit off the temple. Because Jake was being wicked with the temple.
Yeah.
We're the temple now.
Right.
We're the temple.
Sirach 36 and 22. The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance.
Which is true. But there's a time and season for everything. So, yeah, that is true. Yeah, it looks good. But right now, we're in spiritual war. You know? So there's a time and place for everything. But so why is he constantly throwing flesh at you?
Right.
Because he's trying to break you down. He's trying to take you off your course. And that proves the man is the most important. There ain't half-naked men running around.
Exactly.
It's half-naked women. Do you realize, brothers, how much they show us that we're the number one?
Yeah.
Women show it because they say, well, you were supposed to. Esau shows it because he's throwing women at you. So the man, Esau showing you who the biggest threat is. In Egypt, they didn't say throw all the babies in the Nile. They said throw the male children, you know?
That's right.
They want to cut us off. And Eve is the number one heathen supporter to destroy the Israelite man. I was seeing this video, Michael Jackson was mean mugging Diana Ross because she molded him.
Yep.
She groomed him, you know? She groomed him, and then she be openly getting hunched on by Edomites, and then she came out and professed her love for only white men. Why you think Mike went home and wrote a banger? Dirty Diana!
Yep.
Because it's Eve, man.
Yep, that's exactly why.
Eve, bro. Leave her ass alone. She's a broken toy that we're not trying to fix. Return to your maker.
Yes. Yes, man. And it reads, and a man loveth nothing better.
Yep. Yeah. Privacy. But then you get overstimulated, and then all you doing are looking at women, and then you get a certain image about them. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, it's too much. That's why you got to put Facebook down.
Right, exactly.
Social media.
Right.
But you're not hearing this nowhere else.
Right.
You still got Proverbs 8. Can you please read that?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 2. She standeth in
Start
the
at
top.
1.
Okay, Salakia. Does not wisdom cry?
Is not wisdom crying right now?
Loud, it's crying loud, man.
It's crying out.
Come on, man.
It's telling us what we need to hear so that we can keep surviving. You know? Keep going. It was like when we were in the world, you know, because me and this brother, we always talk about the aspect of the Gentiles. Like you see a Jake with pink, but then you'll get it.
Right.
But shit, even in the world, I ain't fuck with pink. But we get it.
Right.
We get why he
it.
made. So, but we were drowning too. So it was like Yahweh Shai, he pulled us out the water. So now we're constantly fighting to stay buoyant. But sometimes the water may get close, like Jonah, remember in the fish? Mm-hmm. It gets close, but it's not enough to re-drown us back with Babylon, you know?
Does not wisdom cry?
Yeah, wisdom's crying. Wisdom's crying out in the midst of confusion. And it's calling everybody out. It's calling everybody out for their added ingredient to this gumbo of confusion. Yep. Keep going.
And understanding put forth her voice.
Yep.
She standeth in the top of high places.
Yep.
But the way in the places of the past.
Right, which is what? Out here. We don't need to go to the we don't need to go to a hockey game or the strip club. Everybody downtown. Isn't that a legitimate song? Downtown. We're downtown. All right, and this town's about to go down. Keep going.
She crieth at the gates.
She's supposed to cry. So the Bible gives you a perfect representation of what the Spirit will do on a vessel that's chosen by God, right? And then you know another thing? All these people out here, Yeshua, all these people, there's a spirit that comes. You ain't never hear Jake say, and Yeshua coming and he gonna kill you.
Never.
You don't never hear him talking like that.
Never.
It's always love and shit. Fixing your daughter's hair.
Right.
You know what I mean? Barrettes. Just being a homebody. We got no common dwelling place.
Being a so-called family man.
Being a family man.
Or excuse me, just being a family
Just,
man.
yeah.
Because we know brothers have families, but it's like, you know, it's more, you know.
But this is the family.
Big fish to fry.
This is the family. You know, this is the family.
Right.
And then brothers have their own respective families that they go to after being with family.
Right. Yahushua said, what? This is my brother. This is my mother, my sister, my father.
And
you know?
The original word for sister means a fellow Christian in faith. But then it got changed to the black woman in 1926, and then it became sister in feminism.
Wow.
But you bitches can have it.
Wow.
You know? I asked a chick that once. I said, what's this, some kind of gender war? And you know what she said? Yeah.
Oh shit.
Some little ass fucking thing. Some little ass thing telling us that they would win in a gender war, which we're not here to fight you in the flesh. But that's why I like watching when Russians be having like one fat dude fighting 3 women. He be knocking them and he's not even in shape.
Right.
And these bitches will really go in there thinking that they could win. Good. You know? And now lately the spirit's turning up. Men are fighting back. What Jamie Foxx saying, booty call, jab back. They jabbing back now. Everybody's kicking the black woman out.
Yep.
Everybody's getting tired of being overstimulated. It's being called out now.
Yeah.
So now, that means you're losing power. Yep. If you had power in lies, and now truth and leggings is out. It's now for truth. We're in a true hour. The Creator is raising up his men. That's why in Revelation it said, great fear fell upon them. The elites, the Rothschilds, these bankers, the DuPonts, they're spending millions, billions, trillions of dollars to stop men like us from telling you who you are.
Yep.
Keep going. So keep fucking sashaying.
Yep.
Rain to the fucking lake, man. You're gonna jump right in there like Rick James did.
That's right.
I seen his video. You know Rick James, he had a house in Buffalo.
No, not
His shit was decked out too. Then he stood on the diving board. You know how you dive in?
Yeah.
Rick James dove in like this and just went straight down. But that's how niggas gonna jump in the lake. He's gonna be straight like this going down, bro. Yeah, he was right out in Buffalo. He wasn't too far off.
That's the next city over.
Yep. Which we got brothers out there.
Yep.
Shalom to those beloved brothers.
Right.
Enduring, fighting. We're all fighting, you know? We're all going through our trials and tribulation, and all it's doing is boosting our faith up more. So, 2 Corinthians 13:8. Trace e oche. All right, Ice? You can't do nothing against the truth before the truth.
Right.
You're not winning. You humans ain't winning, man. This is a spiritual battle. What's that movie you always watched? Or you always talk about, you said the spirit always wins? Dr. Strange,
oh, damn, it was called The Grudge.
No, the other one you watched, it was like the sequel to Shining or something.
Oh, it's Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep. Says spirit always wins.
Yeah, yep.
So be in the spirit, you know? Stop letting this flesh always win. Speaking of flesh, keep going.
Shit. Damn.
Big Sure.
Damn.
Proverbs 8:3, she crieth at the gates.
She meaning wisdom, wisdom being referred to as a female because of beauty. So the most the women should do is take righteous joy and pride that wisdom is being referred to your beauty. Not for you to be walking out here and scantily walking abroad.
Right.
And you know what? We want women from the 1960s. I seen this video, and they were going up asking women from the 60s, how do you feel about them releasing mini skirts? And they said, we don't want that. We don't like that. See? All you are bewitched. That's why they got you bitches smoking cigarettes by Edward Bernays,
Yep.
and they called it Torches of Freedom, you idiots. See how men will protect you? So, hey, that's why really you get the woman needs to acknowledge she has spots of dumbassness at times. If you got a woman that's acting like she knows it all, then all right, now I'm putting your ass to the test, Now, will you showcase humility and say that I'm right? Majority of them won't, man. That's why brothers is focused on salvation. Gravitational spiritual pull is coming. You know? Watch, when the lights go off, now you can become attractive. So don't fall. We still got 1 John. Not little John, 1 John. We're gonna go back in it. We're breaking it down right now.
Yeah.
That's why I said love not the world. Because we're talking about what the world consists of. Evil, unclean, nasty, wicked, abominable. It says touch no unclean thing. We damn near got to float around. We had to move camp spots because it smells like urine. With all this future tech, why hasn't Google created a smell meter? I want to know what it smells like before I get there.
Right.
The human that lacks the spirit, one of their strongest senses is smell. And you stink.
She cried at the gates.
Oh, the air quality's so bad.
Bro,
Michigan
yeah.
now is open up
Yeah.
Planet Fitness. What's up, brother?
Come on, yeah.
Now the air quality's so bad. But what about the water in Michigan?
Right. That's still, come on. For
So
years.
now they said, because I was like, shit, I hope they open it up here.
Right.
I use that. I'm quick to use some shit Esau's giving out for free if I know it ain't, tampered or evil.
Tainted.
You know. But no, I wanted to say is the wildfires in Canada is so bad that the air quality in Babylon is being touched, and we're right at the border.
Yeah.
We're at the border. We could flee Babylon, but the Spirit is on us to stay here because it says salvation will come in Babylon. So we ain't going to Egypt and making a fucking $86 a month video why I left America. We staying here. So we believe the Lord gonna deliver us. And if he don't, then we gotta deal with that too. You got a precept?
Real quick. This is 2 Corinthians 4:4. In whom the God of this world I'm starting 3.
Esau is a spiritual counter. Esau is a physical. Esau is Satan in the flesh, man.
Oh yeah.
That nigga's Satan in the flesh.
Oh yeah, bro.
He can get all the Eves he wants, but he wants babies instead.
Yeah.
You have this dumb, thick-ass Evite right here ready for you, but he wants the babies instead. Don't that tell you something? Don't that make the thing between your two ears start clicking?
Yeah.
All you people got is a fucking empty space between your ears. It's like when Plankton was controlling shit.
Yeah.
You know? That's why I'm now, man, I'm a people person, but I'm anti-Babylonian people. I had to read Misanthrope this morning.
Yeah.
I literally read Misanthrope this morning. It's one who hates the traits of mankind. So it's not that we just hate you because you're here too. No, it's who you represent, how you operate, how you govern and judge and think and process. You know?
Yeah.
None of you are real humanitarians. You don't even give a shit about the planet you're on. You're on planet Earth and you're just throwing everything around, dirtying it up, putting your fecal matter everywhere, and you ain't do shit to be upon it, man. You ain't create grass. You know, if you look at grass under a microscope, it actually shows like amoeba smiling.
Yeah, I seen that.
But it says he destroys peace.
Yeah.
He destroys harmony.
Yeah.
Why'd they change the frequency of music? Why did they send men off to war to fight for bankers? You know?
This is the book of 2 Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid,
The good news is being hidden. How you gonna hide good news, man? But you don't hide a bill that's late. You brother, man, I got them niggas tracked me down one time in a hospital and sent me to court. The fuck? But when it comes to good news, hide that.
yeah, yeah.
But bad news is everywhere. Anxiety is overran. You know, depression is at an all-time high. Children offing themselves, man. That's why they need to get rid of these phones. You know?
Yeah. Well, it says that truth faileth, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, we live in a world where evilness is accepted.
Evilness is a culture. Evilness
Yeah.
is success. Evilness is business.
Yeah, bro.
The business of Babylon is base. Okay? When you don't ever let these stupid ass constructed caves intimidate you. That's all he's got is emails, a hot ass suit in the summer, and a jail cell that they get to
Yep.
call a cubicle.
Yep.
Do you know cubicle and cell are interchangeable? So you either got a office space or a jail cell.
And it reads, it is hid to them that are lost.
But we got to go to the lost sheep. But we were lost too. But the Lord had mercy and pulled us out of lostness. Like, nope, that's my child. You know, it's like when they used to put on, why did they stop putting missing children on milk cartons? Was it because there was too many?
Yeah, bro.
Was it because there was too many children to keep putting their pictures up? You demon?
Yep.
But we were lost, and the Lord said, nope, those are mine. John 10 says, my sheep hear my voice. And Yahushua has sheep, and we're supposed to feed the sheep, not lord over them, eat off of them, extort them, unlike these other camps, these jigaboos with fringes on. And here it is, you got fringes, and that shit don't even work.
Yeah.
I wear my fringes on the inside,
Huh.
all right? And that's the foolish nation confounding you proud-ass niggas, man. Where the Lord said, I will provoke them to anger. Some of the worst Israelites are the ones that wear fringes every day. Have a head wrap every day. Well, wrap your head around that.
And it reads, verse 4, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Yeah, that's why you see everybody out here just through. Everyone out here is through one way or another.
The Walking Dead.
Individualism.
Yeah.
Me unit. That's why there's no courtesy. And then you add Babylon into the mix. You got to be to work 10 on the dot. Then you got somebody with a gun checking your speed. You got to watch out for him. You got to watch out for someone who shouldn't be driving. You got to watch out for her if she's taking selfies while driving. Then you got to watch out for your fucking car breaking down because it's constructed wickedly. Then you can't even fix it yourself because he designed it in a manner that it has to go to a professional shop. Then you can't even get a professional shop because you don't have taxes or you don't have the insurance or the certification. Holy shit, we're in the future.
Damn, man.
This is the future?
That's hell. And that's just one aspect in hell.
Right.
You know? It just goes to show that we're suffering.
Yeah.
This is captivity.
With a sober mind too.
Right.
So embrace suffering.
Right.
Praise the Lord while suffering. Car don't start. Call all y'all Bashmal Shai. Maybe I'm being kept from something. Maybe whatever you're going through is an attribute that you need to add to your repertoire moving forward. Don't fear what man could do unto you. Fuck you. I'm late. Now what? I'm late to work. Who gives a fuck? I'm late.
I'm late.
Not that we're punctual. If we're not here when we say we're here, there's a reason. If we're not doing a video, there's a reason. You know? Real life.
For real, man.
My bad.
2 Corinthians 4:4, and it says, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them.
So the light of the image of Yahweh has been shined unto us while we are spiritually fighting the image of Babylon.
Right.
The image of the beast, the ancient Roman wicked wretched empire, the pagan Roman empire that fell in 476. And then we ruled and took over. Then we fell in like 1452. And then Spain was popping. And then they came over here 1492. So look how close we were falling. 36 years. We was ruling, and then there was a 36-year gap. So when we fell, what happened? We went to Spain, Italy, France. Esau rode up out of the Ottoman Turks for that 1,000 years, which was like 977, give or take. But then if you actually go from 476 to 1492, it's 1,016 years, but it says 1,000 years in Revelations 20. So Esau came out the caves. Guess who started iconoclasm? Oh, no. Guess where iconoclasm started? It started in Poland, where Edomites were. And guess what? King James was opposed to iconoclasm because he was ruling in 1600s.
Right. He was still ruling.
But then guess what Esau's excuse why they did iconoclasm? Because they portrayed that these images could cause idolatry. Fuck you. That was prophecy. It said he shall cover the faces of the judges thereof. Well, the judges are back. And then he still tries to cover us up with goat-faced niggas, man. 2025. I don't trust nobody with a gold teeth. What you got?
That was it. I
Okay,
think
you still in Proverbs?
I still got that in 1 John.
Let's go back to 1 John now. That's good. We got the point. Go back to this.
Back in 1 John chapter 2 and verse 16. And it reads, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
Didn't we just explain that?
Yeah. And the lust of the eyes.
Oh, the Holy Spirit explained that.
Right.
You know? Keep going. Which it just keeps screaming in my ear. Can we get 2 Thessalonians 2, and I think it's 8, where it says the spirit of the mouth will consume him?
Oh, yeah.
Because that goes with that precept you had about the God of this world. And then it said it blinded the minds, right?
Yes.
When you go into that word blind in the blue letter, it means darken their perception.
Oh, wow. So
your perception is darkened by your perspective.
Yeah.
It's a perspective.
That's why Esau, right now, he controls the narrative through his media.
Yeah.
You know, like everything Esau says, that's law. You know, like as far as people go.
Yeah.
Like, they believe that shit.
It's reality.
If he says there's a pestilence, then that's what it is. You got to believe it because they believe it.
Yep.
Right? You got to,
Yep.
use wisdom, amongst this wickedness, and learn how to maneuver,
Yep.
Oh, my bad, for me. 1 John 2 and 16.
He's gonna start at 8.
And it says, and the lust of the eyes.
Yep, the lust of the eye. That's what I'm telling you. The spirit begin, and then women act like they don't know what you. Bitch, you know your ass is out. Stop fronting.
Right.
Stop being a hypocrite. When you go into the actual online etymology, the origin of the word hypocrite or hypocrisy means the sin of pretending virtue. That's all you do. You try to front like you good.
That's wicked.
You try to act like you innocent. Why you gotta front? Why you gotta act? Why don't you just change it up? You gotta act like you in shape. Stop filtering your image.
Right.
Work on the gut. Stop throwing the leggings over the belly button. See? That's real. We're really brothers. We're the ones that are telling what would help you, will fix you. All he keeps doing is hurting you. You know? Be a help, don't hurt. Keep going.
And it reads, and the pride of life.
Pride of life. What do you average here? 60s? What do you really average?
Right, yeah.
60 years on planet Earth? 60 years on Earth. You got cars that last longer
Hell yeah.
than humans. Humans are so through, they're not thinking rationally.
Yeah.
You're not actually thinking. This is why you're drunk with Babylon. You're not thinking clearly. Keep going.
And it reads, and the pride of life is not of the Father.
Yeah, when you're proud, that is not Yahweh Shemel Shai. That's why people like when a proud boxer gets knocked out.
Yeah.
That's why it says pride is hated by man and the Most High.
Yep.
There's something about pride that irks you in the spirit. And Esau right now is the most proudest reprobate vessel next to Eve. Esau right now sitting somewhere with a suit and tie on in the head of an office building like this, thinking he's good. And you know what we're learning? We want you like that. That's a better sacrifice. That's a better offering. Like with Esau, he likes to, when it comes to the kids,
Yeah.
he likes to heighten their adrenaline
Yeah.
before he offers you.
Yep.
So we want you like that.
Yep.
Rejoice. I want you glad. That makes it better. If you're losing for 10 years and then you fall, it's not as good as if you keep thinking you're gonna win.
Right.
We want you to think you're gonna win the next third war. We want you to think you're undefeatable. We want you to think that you will continue forever. We want you to think that AI will fix everything. We want you to think that you're gonna be able to micro C-hip everybody. Wait a minute, it's June. It's June, you heard Nate. He's in 2016, he said, it's June.
Yep.
Ain't no microchip. Yeah,
Right.
but did you know June is National Micro-Tipping Month? Did you know that? So the Lord has sense of humor. So we get to laugh too.
That's right. Back in 1 John 2 and 16, it says, but the pride of life is not the Father,
Nope.
but it's of the world.
Yup, and who's most proud? Women
Women.
and Esau.
Yep.
You can't even fight, but you the biggest shit talker. And brothers, don't let no woman get you into some shit. Because
Yeah.
blood, what did it say? She's a bold fellow, bro.
Yeah, it's easy to hurt.
Because she knows she ain't fighting.
Yeah.
Don't let her get you into nothing, man.
Yeah, bro. It says that wickedness is little to the wickedness of a woman.
Yep.
Means like she won't feel bad about doing no kind of wickedness.
She's a female version of Edomites.
Yeah, bro.
She really is.
Yeah.
That's why the Lord has a small sanctuary. So we don't let no niggas or niggettes allowed. Get away from us. Get away from Yahweh Shai sheep. Leave us alone. Go start your hot comb over there.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 17, and the world passes away.
The world, an age, eon. When will these things be? When will be the end of the world? So now we go into Greek. The word for world in Greek in Matthew 24 is what? Eon,
Yep.
which means age. When is this age gonna pass? Like the age of the pagan Roman Empire. That's why he fell, and he had a deadly wound that was healed when he came back in the Renaissance. All right, a rebirthing.
And it reads, and the luster of, right, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever.
Where in Babylon can you guarantee forever?
Nowhere.
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 Shit ain't even work. That's why they give you why you give me a warranty if it ain't gonna be straight the first time? Because it's all vanity here.
Yep.
Everything breaks down. They say that let not human traffic on an average street, let it not be for like 2 years, and nature will run its course and overtake it.
Yeah.
Nature will overcome this concrete jungle. What you got? The 2 Thessalonians? Yep, let's start at, matter of fact, start up since we mentioned iconoclasm.
Still want this too, right?
In 1 John?
18.
Hell yeah. Huh?
4.
Yeah, what's 4 say?
Who opposes him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Start right from there. Let's get all the meat off the bone. We in a crock pot spirit, you know? Let it simmer. Let the meat fall off the bone.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 4.
Which Paul was writing to the brothers in Thessalonica, which was, I believe, northern Greece, which we had Israelites in Greece. That's why in Acts 6, it says the Grecians, Jews that spoke Greek, like now, Jews that speak English. See? Keep going. Oh, and then why were there Jews in Greece? Why were there niggas in Paris? Because France defeated you. That's why you there. So why were there Jews in Greece? Because prophecy got fulfilled with Antioch. Now, do you know that about Antioch being the abomination and make it desolate? Okay, Antioch in Daniel 11, it was prophesied for a wicked root of Esau to destroy our temple, overtake us, destroy the altar. So it wasn't Antioch the first, second, third, but the fourth. And that was during the 6 Syrian wars, and he got kicked out of Egypt because he was about to overtake his nephew, one of the Ptolemies, and then the Romans, Edomite, came, drew a circle around him and said, before you leave this line, make your decision. So he came back pissed off. Then one of the wicked Israelites was telling him, this is what the Josephus said, one of the wicked Israelites was like, they plotting to overthrow you. So he came in, destroyed the altar, took away certain things, and then forced us into Hellenization, forced us like westernization. He forced us to be Gentiles. He made it illegal to be an Israelite. So you Christians don't know shit, man. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just filled with pork and pride. So that Antiochus IV was the one that was used to turn us into a Greek mindset. That's why the Lord put the spirit on Mattathias, his sons, Maccabees, Hammer, to fight back. Hence why you had the Hasmonean dynasty beat Esau's ass, started making him wear fringes. Now what? And watch when Isaiah 2 comes to pass. We might whip you with a whip with fringes on it. Keep going.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 4.
Yeah.
Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High.
Who does that? Esau. Esau does that.
Yep, all day.
All day. Esau is he got a main character syndrome. Even he's a supporting cast member. You know? He's the antagonist.
Yeah.
All right? But and you know what this movie is? This is a movie where the villain has done his plan. You know, in the movie, the whole point is him not pressing the button. The nigga already pressed the button.
Yep.
He's just furthering button pushing. He's a habitual button presser.
He thinks that him, doing it is gonna stop it.
Yes.
But it's like, no, you're doing it.
Yes.
That's prophecy.
Which that movie shows you that in Paycheck with Ben Affleck, where they basically
Yeah.
created a time machine, which is nothing more than AI. AI is a self-appointed prophet.
Yeah.
It eats data, then predicts the outcome. Like if you let AI, like how many times has your cell phone told you you'd be at work right now?
Multiple times, yeah.
You know, like my phone, there was a week where I was working out at the same time and I put a timer on. There was a time where my phone prompted me for the workout.
Yeah, yep.
It would say, you want me to set the 3-minute timer now?
Yep.
You know? So it's already predicting your steps, plans. So he thinks that he's going to be able to Tower of Babel. He thinks he could actually fight. So the Most High created the perfect enemy. He created a perfect enemy, man. So let's read that again.
Verse 4, who opposes and exalted himself above all is called the Most High.
Ezekiel 36:5. Why is Idumea mentioned, but Idumea in the Old Testament, why is it a Greek translation for Esau?
Right.
Why is Idumea the translation for Edomite in Ezekiel? See? Because they try to keep you guessing, keep you jumping and dodging and moving, the sleight of men. But anyways, why is Esau mentioned as one of the heathens that parted the Holy Land? Because Esau did it.
If not where and who is he?
Right, if it ain't Edomites, who is it?
The border of wickedness, man.
It's Esau,
that's
bro.
you.
He's the number one enemy of the world. Oh, destroying him that destroys the earth. The earth that you're on is being destroyed by the people you paying bills to.
Yeah. For real, man.
Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High.
That's why he calls himself the children.
Damn, yeah.
You know, he's a Benjamite.
He's Levy.
Yeah, he's Levy.
That's what he said.
No, he's not Levy, he's Levin.
Right. He says, I'm Levy. But
Yep.
right now, nigga, you Levin.
Yep.
And it's Levi.
Yep. It's Bun Lawyer. It's Lawyer, actually.
I'm Yuda.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, nigga.
Keep going.
Or that is worship.
Oh, that's why he's in the temple. Why do Catholic priests wear that white little thing around their neck? It's actually called a dog collar.
Right.
Don't it say dogs compass me?
Yep.
Didn't Yahweh Shai, it was spoken about in Psalms that dogs would compass me?
Yep.
Nigga's
Yes.
a wicked creature, man.
Right. Because that's not scriptural.
No.
You know? That's fucking dog collar.
Then they did it as a joke. When you actually go into the history, you actually go into it, it was actually like a joke that they did.
Wow.
And why is the Catholic Church funding it out $1.2 billion
Yep.
for all them innocent children, man? You fucking people want to fix your face at us because our elders and apostles brought out the law in Deuteronomy because IUIC was saying they got to live by the law. So were you living by that? And then they spun it to this whole, shut up. Shut your ass up, man. But anyways, outside of that, you got Esau legitimately doing these things and no one's going and protesting against them. Where the hell Jesus is the word at?
Right, right.
Where's Mark John Reiser?
Right.
Why he ain't in front of them? Do you go in front of Control Alt Delete centers where they plan your parenthood? Do you go and talk to them? Who will rise up for Yahweh Shemel Shai against the workers of iniquity?
Right.
You're not doing it because you're the workers of iniquity.
So that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High.
Yep, Lil Nicky showed you that. Remember the demon possessed the Pope in the church, and he was standing on pizza. He said, Moses, this wiffle ball, that.
Yeah.
Like he was just mocking it, you know? He was mocking, but he was in what they call Acts 7:48. The Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
Right.
All you people are is whores to worship something. You know? Jake just always want to whore after the brazen serpent.
Yeah.
The ephod. You always need something, man. What you got?
Like it says, men are vain by nature.
Yeah.
You know?
Going around hooching and hollering.
Right. That's why it's important to have that breath, the Holy Spirit.
Yep.
To guide us and keep us.
Well, it says,
You know?
rightly dividing the word of truth.
There you go. That's right.
You know, knowing what is pleasing.
That's right.
You know what's pleasing, you know what's not. What you got?
Real quick, because you said mocked, right?
Yeah.
Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked.
He ain't mocked, but listen, he's long suffering.
Right.
That's what people
Right.
don't understand.
That's power.
Right, because the natural man be like, man, I want to get him now.
Right.
Nah, because you're not the Most High.
Right.
So you want to react right at that minute. But no, the Lord, I got it. I want to add more to it. Like the wicked king, he made in the time of Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar, he made it 7 times more hot.
Yeah.
He made it so hot that his own men fell into it. You know? And we ain't gonna die, man.
That's right.
We're already dead to the world. You know?
That's right.
So just because there's fire don't mean you're gonna get burned.
That's right.
Just because you're in water don't mean you're gonna drown.
Right.
Come on, stop thinking like a heathen.
For real, man.
Stop thinking like that. What's influenced you to keep thinking in the flesh?
Right. Just like the movie in the Matrix, the scene said there is no spoon.
There is no spoon, bro.
Yahushua walked on water, man.
Yeah.
You know, so Yahushua say if you got faith of the mustard seed, you shall be able to move mountains.
Yep. And mountains are governments.
Yes.
Which we know what he meant, but even in that, mountains are governments.
Yes.
You know, like when they came to take him, it's like he spiritually flexed.
Yeah.
And then they fell back, you know?
Book of Luke 1:37 says, with the Most High, nothing is impossible.
And,
you know?
But you have to be in a position where it looks impossible.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Car starter don't start.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you got to have faith.
Got to.
And I did a lesson on it. I got a car starter. I got to put it in. But the car starter went. So I did a live showing like an example of faith and tribulation. Mm-hmm. And it took 16 minutes to start. But it started. But the point is, now imagine those 16 minutes. What would the woman be doing? Would she be rooting you on?
Man.
Would she be praying too? When me and brothers are together and there's a problem, if we're quiet, that's because we're praying. We're praying, and then it happens. Mm-hmm. You know? And then guess what? Guess what? The video, they cut it off at 12 minutes, but it was 16. So whoever saw it was meant to see it, then I took it down. Mm-hmm. It didn't even show it actually started. But it started when I went live on it. But the point is, we go through situations to have examples to exude faith.
Right.
That's all it is. You're going through situations, you go, oh, I have faith.
That's right.
See?
Galatians 6:7, and it reads, the Most High is not mocked.
Nope.
For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Right. So if you're sowing in the flesh, you're going to reap the same. You know? Now, where were we at?
The brother had, he was reading.
2 Thessalonians.
Yeah, the water.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 4.
Oh, and Slakia, Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakodash, Barakatham. To the brothers and the very few sincere sisters, and Shalak Mashapayim on any agents watching.
Yep.
All right, any infiltrators, any wicked niggas feigning themselves as just men. Shalak Mashapayim on you.
Right.
And women too.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say it again. The very first Federal Bureau of Investigation special undercover agent was a Judite woman. All right? Isn't that something? Out of all women he could have used, why did he use a black female to be the first undercover FBI agent? Isn't that something to make you say, huh?
Right.
That's weird. That's odd.
Right.
Why would COINTELPRO be created in 1969? Why did the FBI say if there would ever be a black messiah, it would be through them? When are you going to start thinking?
Right. How come he didn't use a fucking Sheetamite?
Hell
you
yeah,
know?
She-Devil.
You know?
Remember her from Undercover Brother?
Yep.
She-Devil. So, brothers, if you got to watch, make sure it has hot sauce in it. My
Yeah,
water.
I just saw it.
Keep going, brother. I got it.
Oh, yeah. You got it, bro.
Verse 4, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Yeah, the nigga come out with a flannel behind a wallpaper that looks like a fireplace.
Yep.
Then he's got the brown Bible with a cross and a stupid-ass winter scarf that's gray. And he talks to you like this. That's that, ain't that him?
And then he touch his shoulder, brother.
Yeah, yep. Then he tells you he loves you. Are you a Christian?
Come on, let's pray together right now.
He'll actually say, I swear to God.
Yeah.
He'll say that.
Yes.
He'll say that, man.
Yes, bro.
Keep going.
Verse 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you,
You got to remember these things.
I told you these things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, be pricked therewith.
Yeah.
We're entering a time where a lot of our people are going to cry out because the snake is so far entangled and coiled them that now they can't leave. What do you say? Now you can't leave.
Yeah, bro.
A lot of our people already got the venom in them.
Yeah.
And what's up with Hebrew Israelite teachers telling you to roll your sleeve up? And why ain't there a bigger outcry?
Because they probably got a fucking bag more than likely.
And what I mean too is the people.
Right.
Why ain't when you hear the chair, it slides. Why ain't a lot of chairs slide and doors open?
Because they're fucking zombies. That's why. If you're not the elect, then you through.
Yep.
That's what it boils down to. Because the elect, they've been ordained before the foundation of the earth. So if you're not the elect, then it is what it is, you know?
What DeAndre Wilder say, may God be with you.
Right. That's why we out here.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Keep going, my brother.
Remember ye not, then when...
And if you got any questions or breakdown, we can go into, whatever we need to. And if there's a sincere question that needs to be addressed that the Spirit may not be bringing out right at this moment and it's sincere, you can ask it. Either the moderators will correct it or we will, or edify it. Because Yahushua said, feed my sheep. Yep. So we pray that you're being fed, okay? Because we all got to eat. You want to eat, right?
Right.
You got to build a fire.
I gotta feed them babies.
Yeah, yeah. Them black babies.
Not the black babies.
And shout out to the brown ones. And shout out to white babies too.
Yep.
They could be Israelites.
Yep.
See, we're good people up here. Okay? I hold doors open for white people.
Yeah.
But they don't say thank you. So I say you're welcome. Keep going.
I'm sorry. It's like the one video. The Jake, he had the door open for Eve. And he said, you fucking welcome.
Yeah. That's how we feel. We don't say it, but that's how we feel. Because you humans are inconsiderate. Where you go, brother? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm over here like I'm in a fucking pulpit.
Yeah.
Damn. But I don't know, bro. I'm always hot. I can't help it. Keep going.
Verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was with you.
Apostle Paul exhorting his men. Apostle Paul's an elder, camp head over the church. All right? Which the head's Yahushua, but y'all know what I mean. But I want to qualify my statement just in case there's some nigga demon waiting to catch you in your words.
I told you these things.
Yep. Didn't I tell you? So going back, didn't we warn you about Esau? So now the time coming, you can have now Eve talking about, I just want to make you a plate. I just want to, now you just want to humble down. What my man Vig Rames tell Mekhi Phifer and Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah.
He said, because yesterday you saw God, now you want to get right. I tell you what, Go in the stall, wipe your ass, say 3 Hail Marys, and now you and God are even. That's funny, bro. That's why I said go to the gods that you've chosen. You've chosen Esau your whole life. You trusted it in the Caucasian caucus, this government your whole life. And now because his ass is showing horns, now you want to switch teams.
Exactly.
But you ain't see it when they was burning, lynching, raping, murdering, firebombing, robbing, poisoning, castrating us.
Yep.
You didn't see it then? Come on, man.
Yep.
Fucking water's still poison.
Yep.
Gotta drink fucking tap water. I gotta pray over water. Make me want to fucking swing on you. I gotta pray over water, and we're living on a water world.
Covered by cement.
Fuck out of here, man.
Come on, man.
Fuck out of here, bro.
And now that Esau he about to cut off certain fundings from Eve, now she want to come back to us.
Yeah.
Now,
Hell no.
Stay in the same tide,
Yeah.
Don't stay with Esau.
That's how the Lord is, though. We have the same. We're being built up to see why the Lord's like, nah, man, I'm first.
Yeah.
There's a spirit with that. Acknowledging your God, your power. Now you want to wait.
Come on, man.
Fuck out of here. Now that the snake is cutting off your air supply, now you, black brother, fuck out of here. Brother, fuck out of here. Now that the water, now it's raining and the ark is sealed, now you want to come inside.
See? For real.
You got it, bro.
Verse 6. And now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
See? So now is the time. Now is the time to get on Edom. Now is the time to point out his evil and wickedness. He wants you not to talk about him. You gotta understand that's the level that his wickedness goes. He wants you not to tell on him.
Yep.
Just like a sibling. You hit the other brother, shh, I give you my dessert. Right?
Here, hit me back real quick.
Hit me back. Ow. That's what he wants.
Yes, bro.
He wants to play the victim.
Yep.
Yahoo.
Yep.
And everybody's picking sides, man, which is prophecy. But even the Muzini Pike plan, they already set up 3 stages for world woes.
Yep.
And they said the third one would be through Amalek and Ishmael.
And that's happening right now.
In our face. Oh, prophecy alert, uproars of the people. Los Angeles, New York, people are fighting against federal agents. The ICE is a federal branch, bro. Those aren't state police, those are federal agents. And you got Tortas in the street locking arms, telling him go home. You fucking dummy. He wants you to think that you got the victory. So he could come back blasting like the grandma from Don't Drink Juice in the Hood.
In the middle of the fucking night.
Yep, exactly.
That's how Esau does. He gets you when you least expect it.
Exactly.
That's why Yahushua is going to get him when he least expects it. You know?
Remember, he's a cunning hunter.
Right.
But you're also dealing with the lion. And a lion is one of the greatest hunters. You know? Keep going, brother.
And now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
But not everybody knows that.
Right.
The average Edomite don't know that. But now we've been given the ability to know that. But they don't understand, like, what's going on? I gave you an apple.
Yeah.
You know, like, what? I said I didn't want them babies at the border. So Esau thinks his emotional investment is going to change hundreds of years of abominable acts of violence against Jacob. Wrong again. You got some?
Yeah, real quick.
Yep.
This is the book of Joel.
Cause that Thessalonians got so much meat. We gotta marinate in that. What you got?
This is Joel chapter 3 and verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense?
Palestine is the ancient land. Look at nothing common to man. They're trying to fix their vehicle. Look at that shit. Three heathens pushing that shit. I bet that shit is heavy. Is that a female?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let me show the audience. Look, and I'm not helping. Look, Esau, help him. Look at her standing there. She ain't even helping. It says that shit heavy for real.
That shit, yeah, real life.
Look at that shit. And you know what's crazy? Esau is the servant. But they got a spirit, they don't move out your way.
Yep.
They don't immediately jump to help. That's why when I see that characteristic, I'm like, that might not be an Edomite.
Right.
Because the average Edomite don't get out the way. They don't try to help. They just stand there and watch. I remember I called an Edomite out on that one time because his Jake was trying to pull like some soda or like beer.
Yeah.
And were you with me?
I believe so.
And then we were like doing it, and I said, why don't you get up and help?
Yeah.
You gotta call him out.
Exactly.
You gotta stop calling Tyrone. Call that nigga out.
It's just like a for example, like a cat. A cat won't get out your way. You know, you gotta fucking, hey, move the fuck out the way. Because you just stand there.
Yep.
That's why I said, look at the beasts of the earth and they shall teach you. And us seeing that's like, oh, you people act like animals.
You need collars.
You know? Exactly.
Oh, well, Amalek says goyim, cattle, sheep.
See?
You know?
That's why we say the creatures. They're humans, the creatures.
Yep. Creatures, anything created.
Yes.
And we're surrounded by useless creatures. You ain't doing shit for the planet you're on, man. Except for enabling the elites to keep leading over you. You know?
And it reads Joel 3 and 4, and it says, will ye render me a recompense?
Meaning you ain't gonna be able to, you ain't, nigga, 25 cents a day. You ain't about the Black Lives Fund Matter shit.
Gave you an apple, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
You know?
But even ham the other nations,
yeah,
because it's going to them and shit.
Real,
you ain't about to fix nothing. We don't want, we're already being repaired. Federal Reserve notes, I mean, I'll take it, because I got to give it back to you. But that ain't what's going to free us or fix us.
They was in the car the whole time. Damn.
No, they were the drivers that pushed it.
Oh, wow. Okay. And it says...
But look, heavy real brewing. That's the drunken with the wine of Babylon. You know? You're just surrounded by drunk-ass people.
And it reads, and if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Yeah, so no, the Lord said no man shall buy you. No man's going to save you. So it's the Lord that's going to get the glory. That's why, brothers, that's why people don't be really helping us. Like, you go through shit, you know, like the Lord may have here and there, but a lot of times he wants us to do it with each other so that the Lord gets the glory.
That's right.
You know? Fuck, you gonna, it's like in a movie, all of a sudden Bruce Willis saves the whole building. That nigga ain't our savior.
Right.
That's like making Esau our savior. You know? Like these, like Frederick Douglass, he wasn't our savior. Okay? We still in the same hell position, but it stinks now. You know?
Yeah.
But Jake looked at him as a savior. Isn't it funny we outside of this building?
Yeah.
You had a point?
No. Oh, what back that you was reading?
Yeah.
Verse 6, and now you know.
Call it out, Bible Shaw.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 6. And now you know what withholdeth.
You know. Now you know. You brothers know what's going on. You know why Esau is not being called Esau out in national television.
Right.
Because the media in America is controlled by 6 corporations, which I think it started changing in like 1988. It went from like 156 different companies to narrow down to 6.
Wow.
So he controls what you hear. He controls what you think.
Yes, exactly. And that's why if you put all those channels by side, they say the same exact thing.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You can synchronize all those channels and bro, it'll be right in sync.
Well, shit, you got that one music video by Rage of the Machine, which those are Jake's.
Yeah.
He had, remember in the beginning, he was like, we got to stop soft spending. And like he was having Al Gore and George Bush saying the same exact thing.
Yep.
He was saying the same exact thing.
Yep.
And it's what? Rage against the machine.
Yep.
What's the machine? The beast, the image, like System of a Down.
Right.
They were Armenian, like freedom fighters, which Armenians, some of them are Jakes too. Keep going, Kradazaba.
Verse 6.
Like, it's my bad. A lot of stuff be coming out. Like Disaster, the battle rapper.
Yeah.
That's a whole nigga, bro.
That's a Jake, yeah.
That's a whole Israelite guy.
Ain't no heathen rapping like that.
Nah. No. You got it.
Verse 6. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
And bro, have you looked out? There are a lot of Edomite sympathizers. Like the spirit been on me to really be watching what's going on in Gaza and Philistia, because that is the land of Philistine, but they call it Palestine.
Right.
That's
right.
Philistia.
Right, now they do, right.
Which those were Hamites. Ham was there, then Ishmael got in there over a process of time. But going back, I've been watching a lot of footage, and you got people, Edomites all around the world, sticking up for Amalek. So Esau is showing you who he's allegiance to.
Wow.
And look, black woman with blonde weave on.
See,
as I'm speaking, you saw it?
Yeah.
Y'all my witnesses.
Yes. But over there in the east, they hate Amalek.
See?
You know, but compared to over here in the west, they love Amalek.
That's why they say free Palestine.
Right.
From the state of occupation of Israel. Ezekiel 36, man.
Gotcha.
Let's grab that. Keep going.
I'm right here. I got you.
Okay.
And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
Boom. So now he's being revealed. And then you got hacking doctrine Hakah now trying to say that the least of the flock ain't Amalek. Just a whole bunch of confusion, bro. It's fourth quarter. We got the playbook that's been having us win. Why is this dude coming up trying to change the slant right play action?
And you know, do you know what I find funny? For years, you know, they've been preaching, you know what I'm saying? But why now?
Ooh.
Why now? It's different.
Yeah.
You know, either you got heavy demons on you, or you've been got you got your pockets greased up.
Yep.
You know, because that's what it boils down to. You know. So
Yep.
what's different?
What's going on with all these doctrines now?
That's fucking suspicious.
Real quick, Ezekiel,
excuse me.
because it said he shall be revealed. Because for so long they've been getting to say that they're Jews.
Yeah. Yep. You want to start from the top of verse 6?
5 and 6. Which one? Just 5 and 6.
This is Ezekiel 36 and verse 5, and it says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen."
The residue of the heathen. But tell a Christian that. So wait a minute. If you're wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're a Gentile, but why don't you also say you're a heathen?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Why don't they ever say, have you ever heard them? Has
Never.
Voltaire said I'm a heathen?
Never.
What's up with that?
Right.
Why do they just get to say Gentile? It's got like a clean ring to it.
Right.
But heathen, it's like, oh, you a fucking heathen, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Why don't they ever say they're heathens?
That's,
What's up with that?
You're a heathen, ill.
Yep, keep going.
That's exactly what you are.
And guess what? Jake also said that we'll be the heathens.
Yeah, yep.
So, see? And it says we're the Gentiles. So now what?
Which heathen are you?
Right.
Which Gentile are you?
What kind of American are you?
Right.
Blonde weave won't save you in Jacob's trouble. It'll actually be a target. Keep going.
Ezekiel 36 and 5, it says, surely in the fire of my jealousy.
Oh, the Lord gets jealous? So man could just be mad.
Right.
But who you call God is all love. So why do we hate?
Right.
Huh? Why do we hate okra?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why we get to do things but God don't?
Right.
Where do you think we got it from?
It says that he's the father of spirits.
Thank you.
We've all been created. So it's like you just said, where do you think we got these attributes from?
And I believe in the Apocrypha, it even says angels are curious. I gotta double check, but you know?
I'm not sure where it's at, but I can look it up, but
You know?
it does say that, you know? And it says, have I spoken, in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea.
Wait, though. What is it? How does that coincide with John 3:16?
Right.
Because if somebody goes, oh, that was in the past. All right, so wait a minute. So you mean to tell me there's all this tremendous judgment, of course, on the Lord's people, and then on other nations, fire, confused noise, fuel, rolled in blood, the slain of the Lord shall be many, and all that. And then now it's, come on, hold arms, we're all love, it's all over.
Yeah.
Wrong. You gotta stop accepting breakdowns from humans. Colossians 1:26 says the mystery has been hidden for ages. But then when you go into the word mystery, in the Greek it's mysterion, which means Bible secrets given to the initiated and not ordinary mortals.
That's right.
So stop having mortal combats with these people.
Yeah.
That's why we don't debate you. Ain't nothing to debate about.
Yeah.
Even when you go in school, teachers have the ability to not be questioned. They get authority.
Yep.
Mark 13 says we got authority, but then we come out here with that authority, now it gets questioned. But niggas will eat lies with hot sauce.
Yeah.
You know? Jake's stuck in fucking 2001. I'm telling you, don't we be saying the Lord really be having us ahead of the curve?
Yeah.
That is a blessing. That's a blessing, man. I forgot about that song. What about the breath of life?
Jake still can't breathe.
Right, he still can't breathe. But what about the breath of life? You know?
You know what's mind baffling to me? Here it is. We're still in the same land that we've been, stolen from. You know what I'm saying? From Africa, shit like that, and placed here. Like, come on, man.
No